So my plan was to be a genetic engineer. When I went to college, I was going to find, ironically, the cure to cancer by being a genetic engineer. And the first year and a half of experiences made me realize that's not my path. And these organizing experiences really started to make clear to me what I actually wanted to do, which I say now as someone who is dealing with cancer, that it actually put me on the path to finding the cure to cancer, which is about ending oppression. Like cancer exists because we are destroying our planet and we are just making toxins in our planet. We have to deal with oppression, class, poverty, racism. All of that stuff is why we have literally that manifests in our bodies and illnesses and sicknesses. And the biggest irony was that this is the work that is going to, actually make us all healthier and not something that's going to be in a lab. So it's an interesting kind of evolution of learning and understanding that started off very much rooted in my early experiences. Eventually, when I moved back to Chicago, I decided I wanted to get into labor organizing. I wanted to learn what workers' rights were and what worker power looked like and help to build it in my own family. My mom's siblings were all factory workers, so all my aunts and uncles, grew up worked in factories. And a lot of them were more monolingual than my mother. We're from India. My mother and father speak Gujarati. I realized there wasn't going to be a union organizer that spoke our language talking to my family about their rights if that wasn't going to be me. So I decided to go into labor organizing. I organized low-wage women of color for about 6 years as a union organizer before I moved over to Grassroots Collaborative.
Chicago's over $1.7 billion in taxpayer money sitting in TIF accounts, of which $1.5 billion they say is accounted for, and we have to just trust them. We don't know what those funds are going to be used for, but just trust them. So that leaves, though, still $200 million that could actually be declared surplus and given back to our schools and our communities. Chicago Public Schools, claiming a budget deficit, closed 50 schools, laid off 3,000 educators, and imposed massive budget cuts across the board. So why is the city leaving all of this money on the table? Instead of our TIF money going to corporate vampires like DePaul University, instead of the city and CPS paying $108 million annually in interest to big banks like Bank of America, our tax dollars should be going to Chicago families living in the neighborhoods.
In Chicago, we really want to be part of seeing where do we get to and bringing the city back into our hands and continue to fight back against all the forces against people in Chicago. And Chicago matters so much to the country and nation, so much. And I have done enough. It's hard to fully believe that because there's so much more to do. But yeah, it's been so meaningful. I've gotten to live my purpose every day. So phenomenal. How lucky. The place we're going to do the funeral is a place that I've done so much of my organizing life. It's on the west side of Chicago, the new Mount Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church. That room, we have done so much together. It's where I felt the most power that we actually have of this being ours, our city. And it's been so meaningful. And it's still weird to be oh, well, here's what I'm gonna save the dates. Who knew? I really do love all of you. The kinds of work we've done together to fight for the city, kinds of creativity we've brought to those fights. the kinds of laughter and lightness I've been able to feel with so many of you. It's just like a different, I don't know, it's like feels infinite. I don't have any other word. It just feels phenomenal to get to actually show that and feel that with each other and not just keep it in our hearts. Dying is a portal to infinite love. Like, my God, the things that people have said to me of when asked how much. I think that part has been very powerful to get to get really specific ways of showing the love, and so specific that each time I cry, every time I say come back to me when you're ready. If you don't have the answer of how much yet. Just take some time and then just text me. And my God, it's been so, I've gotten poetry in response. You don't have to write poetry, but it's so poetic and beautiful, and oh my gosh, that's like love. I really wanted to live longer. It's like I got to the point of figuring out how to fucking live. And now I'm no, now I want more time living the life that I have figured out we should live and how I can live. So, but I'm not going to be able to get to that. I'm not going to be able to get to it. So
I've got to feather my senses together. I've been through worse kinds of weather. But if it's over now, be strong. Can't believe that you're gone. But I'll carry on what I miss you. Yeah. Okay.